All righty then. Okay, so Waddy, here we are again. I can't
Ouch.
even believe this is happening. This is because this is the way I'm impressing you with my.
Yeah, your technical wizardry.
So Lee was telling me last. I said I just spoke to Waddy. I told him how great you are, how it's going to be such a great time. And look, everything has been nothing but a fuck up. I am so sorry. Oh my god. All right, we'll see if people find us again. Holy shit. All right, they found us. They're starting to come.
Hi.
Oh, I'm exhausted from this.
Yeah,
All
me too.
right. I'm really sorry. You know, this is I don't even know what to say. This was beyond my my capability. I was just sitting here listening to you, and we went bye.
You know, all of a sudden it just froze out. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm telling you, if so, all right, is your refrigerator, my refrigerator and my freezer are full. If we lose our power, are you guys gonna lose as much food as I am?
We got a pretty full fridge right now. Yeah.
Oh God, not my favorite thing. All right, so all right, we're going back to the Cowsills. That's when last we were talking. So
we went from Vermont.
Yeah.
To move down to New York,
Mhm.
and Bud was going to manage us, and we actually moved in with the kids. They had several apartments in this building,
Right.
so my band took over the downstairs apartment, but the kids were always coming in and out. You know, oh, I left my shirt down here. I left this and that. You know, whatever. So we were all like, just and Billy and I spent a lot of time together. Bill Cowsill and I were really tight friends, and and all of a sudden one day Bud said, I'm thinking of moving my operation to Los Angeles. Do you want to go? I went, definitely. You know, because at that point I had already, like I was saying, Leslie and I had met. Leslie got a deal. The Vagrants had a record deal. I couldn't find my way into a studio in Manhattan if I tried. I was first of all too shy to just walk into Atlantic Records and say, hey, I'm here, hire me. You know, I didn't know what to do. And I was playing guitar, studying with a great teacher at that point when I was 16 till I was about almost 18. But still, I was like, I couldn't break into anything in Manhattan. So the opportunity to go to LA was the ticket, and out we came. And then at that point, Bud proceeded to destroy every record deal we got. We came out, we made a demo, and the greatest moment I thought that was going to be was the phone rang. I pick it up, and this voice goes, I want to talk to Waddy. Who's this? This is Ahmet Ertegun. I want to talk to Waddy. And I could hear my demo in the background playing. Unlike cell phones, when you picked up a phone back then, you could hear music instead of it being all weird.
Right.
I could hear our demo in the background playing. He goes, this is the best fucking record ever. I want to fucking sign you, man. You're welcome to Atlantic Records.
Wow.
You're kidding. Oh my God, how great. That's the best news. I hung up, told the band, we were thrilled. A day later, Bud Cowsill says, yeah, it didn't work out. I went, it didn't work out? I just heard Ahmet Ertegun telling me we're on Atlantic. What are you telling me? It doesn't work out.
Right.
It didn't work out. He was an asshole. I said, he's an asshole. Okay. Wow. Then he did it again at Columbia. He did it again at some other labels. I think we did like 3 or 4 different record deals that we all should have had and didn't, because Bud fucked them all up.
Oh, Jesus.
And at that point, I fired him and quit. I quit him managing, producing. He was our manager. He was our publisher. Everything. He had me signed up like a emergency room victim. I was so signed up with. And David Crosby, who I met when we first moved out here, I met him like the second or third night we were in Los Angeles. I'm seeing David Crosby sitting at this table, a few tables away from me, going, I can't believe what I'm seeing. This can't be happening. And what do I do? Do I just let this moment slip by, or do I go make a complete ass of myself and introduce myself? And I went, yep, that's what you're doing. Get up. Went over and said hello and told him about the band, told him about the Bud Cowsill. He went, "Oh my God." I went, "Yeah, I know. But we're good." I said, why don't you come over and hear us?" And he goes, "Okay." I went, "Okay, you will." So he came over, and we had Judy Pulver was our girl in the band, a great singer, and she and I were the songwriters in the band. She's a great lyricist, great girl. We're still pals too. She's married to a wonderful guy named Don Peake, great guitar player. And David was sitting there having a meal. He says, "So who's managing? I know Bud's managing, Bud Cowsill's managing it, which is a mistake, but what about publishing?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, him too." He goes, he pointed at me. He goes, "Asshole." I went, "Oop, I think I've done something wrong." "What?" He goes, "Publishing is yours. You don't give that to anybody. Then they have no right to take that from you. He's stealing that from you." I went, "Oh, interesting." So I called Bud. I said, "I want my publishing back right now. You're not entitled to it, and it's mine. It's not yours." Straighten that out. And then shortly after that, we disbanded the whole thing. We broke it all off.
Did he give you a hard time about leaving?
It was over.
Mm-hmm.
It was over. And so that was that. And
Did you, did you reconnect with Ahmet Ertegun? Did that ever?
No, never. It was gone. It was gone.
Burnt that bridge for you.
And I didn't know what to do at that point. And the band, at that point, this band who nobody ever heard of really, it wasn't happening. Oh, and Crosby called me one day and said, "Listen, man, I got to tell you something. You're the only one in that band, right?" I went, "Oh, man, I don't want to hear that." He goes, "Yeah, you don't want to hear it, but it's true, right?" I went,
wow.
"Well, I know I play better than they do, And he goes, "Waddy, you're the only one in there." And so I broke up the band. Judy and I stuck together for a while, and we tried to pursue a deal for the two of us, and we didn't get anywhere really. And at that same time, I started realizing I could do sessions. We were working with a guy named Keith Olsen, who was a great producer who's passed away recently. And Keith produced the first Fleetwood Mac album with Stevie and Lindsay. And that's how Stevie and Lindsay and I met, through Keith. He was producing my band, and then when I quit the band and Judy and I decided to split up, Keith and I were working on my demos and stuff like that, and he and I spent a lot of time together. And I started doing sessions for people, and more, and I realized, wait, I'm going to become a studio musician. That's what I want to do. And I told that to the band, because I said, I'm quitting this band. And I said, "You're all fired, actually. I'm not quitting. You're all fired. That's what I think of you. And I'm going to be a studio musician." And it was incredible that that's what happened. I was able to walk into sessions and sit down and play what people wanted to hear from me. And I could read well enough to get through a chart. And I remember one time I was working with some session, I don't remember who it was for, but Keith Olsen was producing it, and some guy was on the date supposedly playing slide guitar. I had never played slide guitar in my life. I didn't know the first thing about it, but this guy was so bad that I went over to Keith and I said, "I got to tell you something. I've never played slide guitar in my life, but I guarantee you I can play it better than that guy." He goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, really." I said, "I don't know the first thing about it, but I know I can do it better than he is." So he goes, "Okay, you're on, do it." And I went, "All right, now what do I do?" I went, and so I laid it down on my lap, and I played it like a lap steel. I didn't know what to do. I really didn't, but I knew as long as my hand was in tune, it was going to be way better than what that guy was doing. So I slid up to a note, and it was right on the fret and in tune. And he goes, "Yeah, that's great." I went, "It's great. All right, cool." So I started developing slide, and then realized, oh, I should do it this way, not down my lap.
My favorite.
I did it that way for a while. And, one session led to another, led to another, led to another. And one day Keith Olsen was producing Bobby Womack, and Lee Sklar was on the date, and I was on the date. And that's where Leland and I met. And in the interim, I'm looking at these album covers. For a couple of years, I've been in LA kicking around. Lee Sklar, Russ Kunkel, and Danny Korthcmar. Who's this guy? Especially him. Who is this guy? Why is he getting all this work? I don't even like his tone. Why is he getting this work? Why can't I get into these sessions? And then I met Leland. And then shortly after meeting Leland, I met Russell. And then I was working for a great producer named Nick Vinay. And Nick said, it's time for you to move on, which I thought he meant I was being fired. And I went, what do I do? He goes, no, it's time for you to move on. So he invited David Foster, who was the new hot piano player in town. He says, I'm inviting him down to hear you play. That's why he's on this session tomorrow. So bring your electric rig. We were doing a lot of acoustic stuff, folky stuff. I want you to bring your electric stuff tomorrow. I want him to hear you play slide and hear you play electric. So he did. I met Dave, we played. And a day or two later, my phone rang and it was Lou Adler's office calling saying, Lou Adler wants you to come play on this session because David recommended me. So I went to this session and there was Leland and Russell and Cooch. And Cooch and I finally meet. And of course, we loved each other instantly. And one of the other elements of it that was great was the first tune was a reggae tune. And Zevon and I and our dear friend Jorge Calderon, we were reggae crazy. I mean, we were Harder They Come came out. That was all we were listening to.
So you were already playing with Warren when this was happening?
Yeah. Because my first, we're gonna have to do a part two. There's a lot to this, but my first gig out of Los Angeles was a road gig with the Everly Brothers, and Warren Zevon was the band leader for the Everly Brothers.
Oh my God!
So I had to audition for him, and he and I didn't hit it off too well, as you might want to think. You know, two fucking strong attitudes, and especially when he played, he said, "All right, we'll play the song once, and then you'll play it." I went, "Okay, well, because when I heard about this gig, I went, well, that's my gig. I know every song they've ever done. I know every vocal part, every guitar part. Come on, this is it. This is for me. Who do I call?
Right.
Call this Warren Zevon, Sandy Zevon. His name was Sandy. I don't know why, but so he shows up and he says, all right, we'll play it through. Then you play it. I went, okay, well, you could eliminate that one step, I just play it with you. He goes, no, we're going to play it the way I said. Okay, fine. And we got to the song Walk Right Back. Gorgeous Everly Brothers record. And Warren is playing it wrong. He's not playing it quite exactly right. So, and I'm thinking, this guy doesn't like me already, but he's really not going to like me in a minute. So I said, okay. He says, now it's your turn. I went, okay, fine, but you're not playing it right. He goes, what? And I said,
no,
well,
you didn't.
I had to, because it wasn't right. I said, it doesn't, it goes like this. And I played it, and the bass player named Bob Carnegie, who had been with the Everlys a long time, as soon as he goes, oh yeah, hey, that's right. That's how it goes. That's right. So Warren just hated my guts from that moment on. And, we played a few more tunes, and he said, and I had a big beard at the time too. It was summertime. It was hot as hell. I didn't shave. Huge beard. Lee and I got along well. And so he goes, all right, well, you probably got the job, but you're gonna have to shave that beard off. I went, what? I said, hey man, look, if Don or Phil Everly tell me to shave my beard off, I'll do it I'll do it with, without shaving cream. But you telling me to shave, I ain't shaving for you. So
it's nice to know you guys got off to such an auspicious beginning.
We did.
I can't wait. So how did this relationship evolve? Oh my God.
Well, it evolved because we were on the road together. And even though we argue about a lot of stuff, we always agreed on the Stones. We always agreed on Merle Haggard. And we would just play music all night. But Warren was this extreme alcoholic, which I'd never been around. I didn't even drink then. As a matter of fact, I didn't drink at all. And it was thanks to Don Everly and Warren Zevon, I became a fucking drinker. Stuck up in England one night in this town in north of England, Leeds, outside of Leeds somewhere. My phone rings. It's Don Everly going, what are you doing? I went, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. I'm in my room. He goes, come on down. I'm tending bar. I went, oh, okay. Okay, I'll come down, but I don't drink. So I smoke cigarettes. I'm sitting there smoking. He goes, hey, have a drink. I went, I don't drink. He goes, yeah, drink. What is it? Scotch. I went, oh, yeah, okay. Ew. It's horrible. He goes, yeah, have some more. Okay. So, but, and that made Warren happy because Warren was blind drunk every night already. And he was abstract. I'd never seen anybody like him. He was very abstract to me, and he'd get really nasty and stuff. And so he and I would get in each other's face because I wouldn't take it. But every night after the show, we would go to one of the rooms and play music all night long, drinking, smoking weed, playing music, playing songs, playing great songs all night long. And Phil Everly said, he got wind of it. He goes, what's going on at night with you guys? I said, well, we're just playing all night. He says, yeah, I said, you should come. He goes, yeah, I'm going to come. So he came one night. And then Donald the next day goes, what's going on around here? I said, well, we've just been playing. So from that night on, every night, the Everly Brothers were in my room or Warren's room, sitting on the floor. Everybody smoking cigarettes, drinking, singing songs. Don and Phil Everly singing songs in your hotel room.
Oh my God.
It was beyond perception. Things like this just don't happen. And literally every night, this is what we did. This is how we went through the tour every night, no matter where we were. Okay, whose room? Carnegie's room tonight. Okay. All right. It was never their room, I realized. Come think of it. I'm talking. It was never Don and Phil's room. They didn't want the mess, I guess.
Right.
So during that time, Warren had written Frank and Jesse, Poor Pitiful Me, Carmelita. I knew these songs in 1970.
Right.
And Donald and I had my song called Maybe I'm Right, which is on, Linda did my song. She called it Maybe He's Right on the Blue Bayou, a Simple Dreams album. Linda cut that song. Mm-hmm. But during our Everly shows, Don would say, okay, we're going to feature Warren on a song. And Warren would do Frank and Jesse or one of the ballads. Mm-hmm. And then I would do my Maybe I'm Right. Mm-hmm. And so we were in each other's music all the time. And by the time the tour ended, I knew all his tunes already.
Right.
And then the Blue album came along. Jackson produced that album and hired me because Warren said, you got to have this guy play with me because he knows these songs already. And so that's when I met Jackson. And so we did that album, and that album led to the next one. And Jackson asked me to co-produce Excitable Boy album with him. And by then I knew enough about Warren's music to where I could hear his songs and I could arrange them. I could just hear how a band should play them. I didn't even think about arranging. It's just like, I know what a band should do with this tune.
So it was all instinctual for you, moving from player to producer.
Yeah, basically. I didn't know what the roles meant really, but I knew my function in that situation was get the bands, and by then I knew all the players: Leland, Russell, Jeff Porcaro, Danny Korthcmar, every other guitarist, Lucas, every guy in town I'd worked with already. So we'd bring them in and everybody would play and would be great. And then we went to vocals. And then that's when another thing about me was my ear again. I was good at, no, that's not good enough. That vocal, you're out of tune. That's not good enough. Do it again, do it again, do it again. That's not good enough. And it became a thing where actually later on in life, Henley and I, we would drive everybody crazy because we were both so on the pitch of vocals. So he and I would have a ball all night long doing vocals, and everybody else we'd get out of the room. So, it just kind of, instinctually became what it was. And the songs were great. Warren's songs were amazing. And we co-wrote Nighttime in the Switching Yard. But what was incredible was that time in Los Angeles was the most loving musical shared experience. I mean, we'd be in the studio and Henley would come by, or Glenn would come by and just say, hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, come on in, man. Have a drink, sit down, have a smoke, have a drink. You want me to sing or play? No, just hang out, man. Everybody would hang out. Wow. See that. And if you needed someone, I'd call when we did the song Excitable Boy, I'm listening to it. I'm going, you're going to think this is weird, guys, but I hear Beach Boy backgrounds on this. What? Yeah, well, I need him. So I called Linda. I said, what are you doing? She goes, nothing. I said, well, I'm hearing these backgrounds on this song of Warren's. you want to come down and sing? I need Beach Boy stuff. She goes, oh, okay, well, call Jennifer. So Jennifer Warnes and Linda came down, and the three of us do all the backgrounds on Excitable Boy.
Wow.
And everybody was just so beautifully open and musically sharing. If you weren't in the studio working on something, you were at someone's house writing or just playing. And J.D. Souther and I became the best brothers in the world. J.D. Souther and my brother were my best man. I couldn't decide between the two of them because the three of us are so close. So the both of them were my best man at my wedding, you know. Friendships were so deep and beautiful.
Were you part of that whole Laurel Canyon? Was that the whole Laurel Canyon thing?
Kind of, you know, we were kind of off on our own tangent of that, but it was around the same period, yeah. But we were a little later, you know. We met, and Warren and I met the Eagles one day at a Frontline Management, and we walked away going, those guys are as funky as we are, you know. Well, they're kind of cool, they're kind of nice, we like them, you know. And then as we got in the studio, Jackson, because he worked with Glenn and Don, so we all became pals, and it was just an amazing period, incredible. And the backgrounds, all the vocals on the records, it's Henley's ensemble, it's JD and Jackson and myself, Jorge Calderon. It was beautiful, totally beautiful.
How did the Stevie Nicks thing happen?
Well, Stevie Nicks thing happened because of Keith Olsen. I was working with Keith, and he said to me, I'm bringing this couple down from Northern California, and you got to play with them. They're great. You're going to really like them. They're great singers, really good writers. But the guitar player, he doesn't know how to play with anyone else. So that's why you got to be there. You got to show this guy how to, you know, work ensemble, play a little with somebody. So the next thing I know, Stevie and Lindsay come down. We all love each other. You know, we're hanging out with Stevie. Stevie was off on her own a little. She was working, you know, I was doing sessions. And for that household, Stevie was waitressing and stuff like that. And Lindsay was hanging around the house. And when I could, it's Lindsay and I would be there in his basement recording stuff, working on stuff. And we did the Buckingham Nicks record. And that's the first time we played together. We worked, I'm on that record with them. And that's how it happened. And then they went to Fleetwood. I was still on the road with Linda. Then I was on the road with James. And all of a sudden I got a call that Stevie's doing a solo album and they want me there. And it was Russell and then myself and Bob Glaub and Ben Montench, Roy Bittan. Show up, you know, there's Stevie. I haven't seen her in years. Smoking cigarettes now, drinking, going, uh-oh, okay, this is different. We got on well and we rocked heavily, you know, we connected heavily and musically, and we still do.
Unbelievable. So, and how about Keith Richards? How did that relationship start?
I met Keith when I was on the road with Linda. We did a run at the amphitheater and I met Woody and Mick. And then we went to Europe and we played this theater. And after the show, I come downstairs and there's Keith Richards standing there next to Peter Asher. And I went, oh my God. And I walked up, I went, oh my God, a Rolling Stone, look at that. And I went, and we're about the same height too. I like that. And so he and I spent several days together right from that night on.
Wow.
And we spent a lot of days together and had a great forming of a great relationship that lasts till this moment. And so that's how that started. And when the Winos was, well, it wasn't even the Winos yet. It was Keith was going to do a solo album, and Steve Jordan and he were working on it. And Steve said, who do you want for guitar? And he goes, I want Waddy Wachtel to play guitar. So I got this phone call from a lawyer saying, I represent Keith Richards and he's looking for you. I went, oh, he's looking for me. Well, why don't you tell him you found me? You know, I said, well, you found me. Why don't you tell him where I am? He goes, well, he's at Larrabee recording studio. Would you call him? I went, yeah, sure. Okay, fine. So I call him up. You know, we'd seen each other a few times over the years. And he said, Waddy, I'm putting a band together and you're in it. I went, what? He goes, yep, you're the other guitar player, man.
Wow.
He says, where are you? I said, I'm here. He says, can you come by Larrabee? I said, yeah, sure. So I went by and that was it. That started like that.
Wow. All right. All right. I have two more questions, and I'm going to let you go. One, how'd you get your name? How did Bobby become Waddy?
Waddy came off of one of the guys in my surfing band
Mhm.
who used to make a lot of mistakes. And I used to bust his ass because I was always like this band leader type, big
Mhm.
mouth, running things. And I'd bust his ass about stuff. And finally, one day he got sick of me yelling at him. And I was still Bob at that point.
Mhm.
And out of nowhere, he just went, "I'm sorry, Waddy," off of Wachtel, I guess.
Uh,
He just said it out of nowhere. I went, "Whoa, what?" He goes, "I'm sorry, Waddy." I went, "Don't call me that. What is that?" "Oh, my dogs are yelling for me. I gotta go." And then after a while, I started to realize I'm sick of the name Bob. I think I'll go with that word Waddy. I think I like it now. So that's how it came about.
All right, I'm gonna let you go to your dog. One more question. So now you're with the immediate family. You're with these guys that you've played with for a million years, and now you've got this thing. Is this? It seems to me, Waddy, like you have you have creatively visualized your entire life. Like you decided as a little kid, you saw that guitar. It's like that's what I'm going to do. That's what I want to do. And you seem to have done that with every step you've taken. Do you believe that?
Well, it seems, I don't know. I don't know how any of it happened, really. I really, I blame the pick in my hand for everything that happened. So
So is the immediate family kind of the culmination of that dream?
more or less, yeah. The immediate family is a dream come true for me and for my brothers. We've always loved playing together, and the fact that now we can be this band together, it's unbelievable. You know, um, we gotta talk more about it, but I gotta go. I gotta go.
I know you got to go. All right. So there's going to be is the album still coming out as planned?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So when will that be dropping?
I can't really say at this point. We're not sure because we've been looking at a number of different scenarios about how to do it. But you'll be one of the first people to know.
Well, thank you. I'm
Okay.
thrilled. And there's a documentary in the works too. Danny Korthcmar, yes. Okay. All right. Well, Waddy, thank you so much for doing this, and thank you so much for your patience with dropping out. And it's been so nice getting to know you, and I'm so happy at long last we have.
Thanks, Vicki. Me too. Thanks
Have
so
a
much.
very happy Thanksgiving.
You too. And I hope that electricity stays on. Yeah.
Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. See you
Take
soon.
care. Everybody, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye
Bye.
bye, Vic. Thank you.